Kendley, good morning. How are you today? We have a million awesome things to talk about. The first thing that we need to talk about before I even do your writing lesson is the amazing donation that your family's company has decided to give to the Kindness Squad. Now, every week I'm going to give you an update, Kendley, on how that's going. Okay? Now, right now, this week, today is Friday. It's the day after Thanksgiving here in Florida for me. So we don't have school today, which is wonderful. I have a day off of school. So when I go back to school next week, the first thing I need to do is to tell the boys and girls the super exciting news that your family's company has given them this wonderful, generous donation so we can help other people. Now, the next thing we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to talk to my boys and girls, and we're going to have to pick a person, a group, an organization to deliver the money to so it can help other people. So we'll talk about that a little bit in my classroom, and I'll keep you updated. And as soon as we've picked a person or a group or an organization, I'm going to let you know. I'll send you lots of videos and pictures of the process of how we're going to do that. I've talked to my principal, and he is super excited. I've talked to people at my school, and we're planning to make it a big deal. We're going to get on the buses, we're going to go on a field trip, and we're going to deliver that to someone in need. It's going to be so incredible, and you're going to be part of it every step of the way. Okay, so it's a wonderful thing to do. I'm so excited that you're going to be a part of this with me, and I will let you know every minute that something cool and amazing happens. So step one will happen next week when I go back to school. I'll sit down with my boys and girls and we'll start making a plan. You can't rush this. It takes some time. You've got to be really super careful that you're doing everything just right. So I'm so excited. And I promise to keep you up to date on every single part of it, okay? Now, part two, we've got to talk about writing. We have a lot of things to do this week. So I'm going to send you into the journal this week, okay? We're not going to write a story with chapters and characters. Okay, for the month of December, it's Christmas time, it's holiday time, it's the spirit of the season. So I've got several awesome activities for us to do in the journal. So the first activity that we're going to do in there is we're going to talk about our holiday traditions. All right, now I know you live in Spain. Okay, and we have boys and girls in Boom Rider that live all over the world, which is super cool. So we're going to talk about holiday traditions. And as we do that, Kendley, our lesson this week, I'm going to be looking for an anecdote. All right, I'm going to say that word again. Anecdote. And an anecdote is a short story within a story. It's a personal story that gives details and reasons about a topic, okay? And it's very personalized. It's 2 or 3 sentences about a funny story or a funny memory that you have that happened to you that goes along with our story. So this is what that might look like, okay? So for myself, I live here in the United States. I live in Florida. So some traditions that we have is that we celebrate Christmas. So we are getting ready to put up our Christmas tree. Okay, Thanksgiving was yesterday, and so we are in the process of putting up our tree. So I would spend a whole paragraph, Kendley, talking about that with amazing details, really describing it up, about 8 to 10 very, very descriptive sentences. Now, for myself, I'm not going to use an anecdote in paragraph 1. That usually goes in paragraph 2 or paragraph 3. So paragraph 1, I would talk about putting up my Christmas tree and the bright lights and the ornaments. Some are very special and homemade, and some are store-bought. I talk about the lights and the star on top of the tree and how my family all gets together and we do that, and it's so much fun. Then in paragraph 2, I would talk about my very favorite tradition. Now, I live here in Florida, and you can see behind me, it is a beautiful sunny day. And today it's hot. It doesn't even feel like wintertime. It's going to be in the 80s. It's like a summer day. So something that my neighborhood does to make it feel wintry and Christmassy is we have this community hayride that we have every single year. So what we do is we get a horse and we go on a hayride, and it's full of straw, and we go at nighttime, and the hayride is decorated with beautiful lights and jingle bells, and we go at nighttime and we sing Christmas carols. So I would write a paragraph describing that, but here's where I would put my anecdote, my little story within a story, a personal experience that I had. So this is what I would say. I would be talking about the hayride and describing that up using my 5 senses. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? It has a smell. The hay and those horses, they have a definite smell to them. And then I would start off my anecdote by saying, I remember. Okay, you've got to have those words. I remember. That's how I know you're in an anecdote. So I would say, I remember a few years ago, the hayride happened on my daughter's birthday. When we got on the hayride, they all sang her happy birthday, and we went an extra mile on our hayride that night. And when we were finished, the horses dropped us off right in front of our house. What a memorable event that was. Okay, so there's my anecdote. Did you hear that? It's just 3 or 4 sentences that give a specific memory, usually a happy one, about an event that happened during one of my Christmas traditions. Then I would close off that paragraph. I'm still talking about my hayride. I've put my anecdote in there, my little story about my daughter and her birthday and the hayride. And now I need a concluding sentence. So my concluding sentence might go something like this, Kendley. I might say, even though it's the coronavirus, I am so happy that we will still be having our annual hayride this year. Then I close out that paragraph. Then in paragraph 3, I might talk about some other traditions like the foods we eat, or how we gather together with all my family on Christmas Eve, or some of those cool things that we have. So I want you to be thinking this week about a happy memory that involves one of your holiday traditions. That's your anecdote. And how you can fit that in your piece. Okay, what kinds of things do you do in Spain during the month of December? All right? Now, I can't wait to read your piece, as always. And I promise, I'm going to send you several emails this week about how things are going with the amazing donation from your family's company. Okay? So you have a great day and a great week, Kendley, and I'll be talking to you really, really soon, okay? Bye, darling.